Hello everyone and welcome back to the Gaming Droid, me mateys, and welcome back to Pirate Droid. So things have been ticking along slowly. I've just been doing some bits and pieces. I basically smelted up all of my metals and brought the chest of assorted bits and pieces downstairs because I've tidied up that area up there. I still have this chest up here, which is the copper or the compact storage chest, but I can't actually move this without taking all the items out manually, so I'll do that off screen. I did want to show you a little bug that I found. If I empty out this bucket into here... Oh, it didn't do it this time. Well, that's annoying. The last two times I did it, it turned it into 5 clay buckets. That's weird. Second, fill the bucket. Empty the bucket. Come on, you did this 3 times or twice in a row. Right, I have no idea why it's not doing it now. It's not doing it because I'm recording, so it wants to embarrass me. Okay, so what I thought we'd do today is I'd just sort of poke about a little bit with crops and talk a little bit about crops, and then we'd go into a bit of a build video, because at the moment this is what I've got set up above my crop farm to water it, but it's not massively pretty, and it's not... Oi! Damn you, cow. It's not really the design or the style I wanted to build. I wanted to build a little water tower here. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to build a water tower. First thing I have to do though is get rid of this water up here so that it doesn't flow all over the place and ruin my farm. These are wooden water tanks. They capture water from the rain and can also capture water from flowing water on top of them, as you just saw. You can pump water into them as well. And they act as a significant water storage tank, but the main thing they do is they feed irrigation channels, and irrigation channels allow the grass to, or the farmland to stay moist when it normally wouldn't, and they also add additional growth ticks, so growth is faster thanks to irrigation channels. So they're definitely worth making, and with the addition of a very simple flow of water on top, you can actually make a highly effective self-filling tank of water. It's one of the best ways to make infinite water on this. You can use liquid nodes with world interaction upgrades on top of water source blocks, but that can be that's one way of doing it, but and I might actually do that later. But for now I'm going to go into my sped up building mode and we will have a look at a water tower, probably about here. So we're going to start off with putting together a few more irrigation tanks and well, getting together a few more bits to build the actual tower. So we're going to go with a microblock spruce log as the tower, and we're going to go with oak for the irrigation panels, and it's going to have a little sort of hat on it. Just going to plant sakura because I was walking past, it wasn't being used. That's my little random tree farm. So lay out some of these again, same sort of style as with the farms, just going to put out some fence posts as the kind of base grounding for it, and then some stone around the bottom, a little bit of torch up just to make sure that it doesn't spawn any monsters. And we're going to start with the spruce wood post risers. I'm going to go with a little kind of 3-point riser style. I think it's going to look quite good. The micro blocks are quite easy to place. If you're having trouble placing them on top or in line, then shift and control will change the direction of placement while you're placing them, just like with the builder's wand. So you can get a little bit more control over which you're placing them, because sometimes it will want to double them up rather than actually place them against each other. So nice quick build, it's not going to take too long to put together, and then I'm going to do a little bit with the irrigation channel, and I'll talk a little bit about the irrigation channel. The irrigation channel is just a way of adding growth ticks to your crops. That's all it does, it adds a couple of growth ticks to the crop. It has got a maximum distance that it can irrigate downwards, and it has got a maximum distance it can irrigate outwards in all directions. So you have to be careful about how high up you put it. But I was reasonably sure this would work, and it turns out in the end that yes, it's about the right height. So to keep in line this, because the irrigation's been irritating me for a while, because I said I want to make things look good, and the irrigation hasn't been looking good for a while because it's just been floating in midair. So I wanted to set it up so that it looked a little bit nicer. If you see anything in the videos that you think could look better, then just prod me, tell me, do it better, and I will come along and see if I can't improve the appearance of things. So there is my water tower. Kind of spindle-legged, but I think it looks alright. I think it looks like a sort of sturdily built scaffold tower designed to hold a lot of water. The tank on top looked tiny compared with the tower, so I went back to build a few more irrigation tanks, a few more water tanks. Very simple, they're just 7 wood in a bucket shape, 7 wood in a cauldron shape. And I decided I wanted it 3 deep, so I needed at least 18. I kind of slightly overbuild, but I don't really mind that I slightly overbuilt. Built some channels, and then I'm going to build some irrigation channel blocks, which just allow for a little bit of an easier connection. Up we go, and you'll see that it kind of splits into individual tanks and then multi-tanks, and it's interesting the way it decides which tanks connect to which tanks. You can't fall into it, even though it looks empty. It's impossible to fall into, so you don't have to worry about walking on it. I started to put around the roof jungle wood, but then I decided I don't have enough jungle wood slabs, and also it just doesn't look right when we've got the spruce base. So I went instead with a spruce top. It's not uncommon for water tanks to have a kind of collar around the top, and it's actually in water tanks it's normally a lid covering over the top to stop evaporation, but I needed that water flowing there on top to flow into the water tank, because it will regenerate the water tank, it will refill the water tank. You can fill them with pumps, of course, and you can fill them with rain, but I'm going with the slightly cheaty way of having the infinite water block just filling it up for me. So I need this out in the middle, and it looks a little bit crappy. It doesn't look like it's being supported by anything. It looks floaty and kind of naff. So what I do is I use the water irrigation blocks, the water irrigation channel blocks, to create some points where I can connect some fence posts, and I create a fence post arch to hold it up. After kind of fiddling about and trying to figure out how I'm going to get up there, of course. So then I think, will this connect? No, that won't connect. How am I going to connect this? And then I remember, of course, I built these blocks specifically for this situation. And that looked quite good, so I quite like that. But of course then you've got the corner hanging out over the edge. So I sorted that out later on, just by adding another irrigation block and turning the fence post rise into a fence post arch. There we go. That goes in, and it works exactly the same way as the other irrigation channel, it just looks a little bit different. There we go. So that is the irrigation channel. Once I finish fiddling about and making it look slightly better. I was curious about whether or not the irrigation blocks would carry water downwards, because of course the height limitation, so I was wondering if you could use them to carry water down. And I do a little bit of experimentation here to see if I can get them to carry water down, but it doesn't seem so. It seems that they'll only carry water horizontally, so if you want water to go up or down, you're going to have to use piping, or you're going to have to use a tower of irrigation tanks, of water channel tanks, to move water up and down. Which you can do. You can move irrigation tank water into an irrigation tank and flow it downwards. So I need another saw because I need to cut down some more stone blocks to make the pipe that is supposedly feeding it. even though on a water block I suppose there is no water, on a sky block I suppose there is no water underneath, so where the stone pipe is getting the irrigation from I have no idea. So this has been the build of the water tower, and I will pass you back to the live droid who is, or who was recording this episode. Thank you for watching, and enjoy the rest of the series. So everyone, welcome back. That is the construction of my water tower with the little roof edge around the top. It's got the water on top that will continue to feed it. It's probably going to take a little bit for it to actually get completely full, but it should slowly be filling up. It's up to 47,000 water at the moment, which if we hop in the top you can see fills the bottom, but it's slowly sort of ticking up as the water refresh ticks occur. And I've given a nice little design to the water tower and to the irrigation system coming off. I've got some spare irrigation blocks and some irrigation channels, and I can make some more sprinklers quite easily because all they require is wood and iron to be made, so that's not too bad. Got some spare irrigation blocks that I can use later on to put up a second farm. So that has been me building a nice little irrigation area. In the next episode what we'll probably do is we will probably jump into a little bit more work on Botania and Thorncraft, and we'll see if we can't get either hopper hawks or straw harvest golems up ready to go so that I can get my plants harvesting. A couple of test racks to bring the harvested plants down into the ship. I'll be doing a lot of tesseract work because of the way this is set out to be pretty, so it's all divided up and got its own areas. A lot of tesseract work is probably going to be needed to connect things together, and then I'll also, once I set my computer up, have a Wi-Fi network set up in Minecraft so that I can connect the computer to different areas as well. So thank you for watching, and I will see you all in the next episode.